Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare quarter-dollar coins, cause some of these coins hold an incredible history, and some are worth millions. So today, we are gonna uncover the rarest varieties and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we're stepping back to the late 1960s to explore a fascinating coin that many of you may have seen, but few truly know about. The United States Washington quarter dollar from 1967. At first glance, it may look like just another ordinary quarter, but the truth is, this little piece of American history can be worth a fortune under the right circumstances. So listen carefully and enjoy this video, because what I'm about to share could change the way you look at your spare change forever. The year 1967 was a unique time in American coinage. Just 2 years earlier, in 1965, the U.S. Mint had completely changed the way coins were made. Rising silver prices forced the government to remove silver from circulating quarters, replacing it with a copper-nickel-clad composition. The Washington quarter from 1967 was part of this new era. Interestingly, the U.S. Mint was under such pressure to meet the demand for coins that they suspended mint marks between 1965 and 1967. That means every quarter from those years looks the same no matter which mint it came from, making them different from almost every other year of production done on the obverse, or front side of the coin. We see the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, who first created the design back in 1932 for the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth. His stern yet dignified profile has become an icon of American coinage. The reverse side features the classic heraldic eagle with wings spread proudly, clutching arrows and olive branches, a symbol of both strength and peace. This simple but bold design is what many collectors grew up with and still admire today. Now, here's where things get exciting for collectors. Most 1967 quarters are still fairly common. But what sets certain coins apart is their condition, rarity, and above all, their minting errors. During this period, the mint was producing enormous numbers of coins, and that high-speed production often led to mistakes. Some 1967 quarters show dramatic double dies, especially in the lettering or on Washington's profile. Others feature off-center strikes, broad strikes, or even missing clad layers, which expose the copper core underneath. These error coins are the ones that collectors crave, because no two are exactly alike, and their uniqueness makes them far more valuable than standard issues. Condition also plays a massive role in determining value. A coin that has been in circulation for decades, passed from hand to hand, will never bring in the kind of money that a pristine, uncirculated piece will. Collectors always pay a premium for quarters that have been carefully preserved, showing crisp details, brilliant luster, and virtually no signs of wear. The difference between a circulated coin worth only a few cents and a flawless example worth thousands can be staggering. Imagine finding a coin in your collection that not only survived the wear of time, but also carries a dramatic minting error. That combination of rarity, condition, and historical significance is what drives collectors wild. The 1967 quarter may not carry silver, but it carries a legacy, and in the right form, it carries incredible value too. So now comes the part you've been waiting for. Just how much could a 1967 Washington quarter dollar be worth? Well, if you're holding one in pristine, uncirculated condition, or better yet, one with a rare and dramatic minting error, its value can soar all the way up to an astonishing $83,000. That's right, $83,000 for a single quarter. Who would have thought that a simple 25-cent coin could hold such hidden treasure? So next time you come across an old quarter, take a closer look. You might just be holding a fortune in your hands. Top 2, we're diving into the United States Washington quarter dollar from 1974. At first glance, it might look like just another quarter you could have spent on a soda decades ago. But believe me, this coin carries secrets that could make collectors' hearts race. Stick with me until the very end, because you're going to want to hear just how valuable this little piece of metal can be. The year 1974 was a fascinating period in American history. The nation was dealing with political turmoil, economic uncertainty, and major changes in everyday life. Inflation was rising, and people were paying more attention to the money in their pockets. But for coin collectors, the 1974 quarter stands out for another reason. This coin was struck in the years leading up to America's Bicentennial celebrations, a time when the mint was producing billions of quarters to meet the demand of a growing population. Because of this massive production, small mistakes and variations began slipping through, creating the rare treasures we hunt for today. Let's take a closer look at the design. On the front, we see the proud portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, a face so familiar it feels like part of daily life. His stern but steady profile had already graced the quarter for decades by 1974, yet every year's strike carries its own subtle qualities. On the reverse, the classic American bald eagle spreads its wings, clutching arrows and olive branches. It is bold, it is simple, and it reflects the balance between power and peace. While the design itself remained unchanged, the story hidden within the details of the strike is what makes some 1974 quarters so extraordinary. Now here is where things get interesting for collectors. While millions of these quarters were made, only a small fraction stand out due to minting errors or pristine condition. Some 1974 quarters are known for dramatic double-die errors, where the lettering or even Washington's profile shows doubling under close inspection. Others may show off-center strikes, broad strikes that spread the design beyond the rim, or even missing clad layers that expose the copper core underneath. Each of these errors makes the coin a true one-of-a-kind collectible, the sort of thing serious coin hunters dream of finding. Condition plays an equally important role. Most 1974 quarters have been through years of circulation, tossed into vending machines, change jars, and pockets. Finding one that has survived in near-perfect, uncirculated condition is no easy task. Yet those are the coins that collectors chase after with passion, because sharp details, gleaming luster, and untouched surfaces can transform a simple quarter into a prize worth thousands. Collectors love the thrill of discovering a coin that tells a unique story. The 1974 Washington quarter does exactly that. It connects us to a time of transition in America, while also offering the excitement of rare variants and minting errors. For those who are dedicated to the hunt, this coin proves that even modern-looking change can hold extraordinary value if you know what to look for. Now the moment you've been waiting for, the value reveal. If you are lucky enough to hold a 1974 Washington quarter dollar in flawless, uncirculated condition, or better yet, one with a rare minting error that sets it apart from the rest, its value can climb to an incredible $78,000. Yes, you heard that right. $78,000 for a single quarter. Imagine pulling one of these coins out of your collection or finding it tucked away in an old drawer. That's the magic of coin collecting. Ordinary change can sometimes be extraordinary treasure. Top 3, we're unlocking the mystery of a quarter that many people overlook. The United States Washington quarter dollar from 1982. At first, it may look like just another piece of loose change, but believe me, this coin hides secrets that can make it far more valuable than its face value. Listen carefully and enjoy this video, because what I'm about to reveal could change the way you see every quarter in your collection. The year 1982 was an important one in the history of American coinage. The United States Mint was producing enormous numbers of coins to keep up with the needs of a growing economy. But here's the twist. In 1982, the Mint did not produce any proof sets for collectors. That means every single Washington quarter struck that year was intended for circulation. Because of this, finding one in perfect, uncirculated condition today is a real challenge. And that fact alone makes these coins more desirable to serious collectors. Let's take a closer look at the design. On the front, as always, is George Washington's familiar profile, designed by John Flanagan. By 1982, his portrait had already been on the quarter for half a century, but each strike carries subtle differences depending on the dies and conditions at the mint. The reverse shows the proud American bald eagle, wings outstretched, holding arrows and olive branches. A simple but powerful image that symbolizes both strength and peace. It's a design collectors associate with tradition, patriotism, and the enduring legacy of the Washington quarter. But here's where things get truly exciting: the errors. Because the mint was under pressure to produce huge quantities, mistakes happened, and those mistakes are what makes certain 1982 quarters worth serious money today. Some of the most fascinating errors include double die strikes, where parts of the lettering or Washington's profile appear doubled. Others show off-center strikes, which can leave parts of the design cut off or shifted dramatically. There are also coins with missing clad layers, exposing the copper core beneath, giving them a unique appearance. These error coins are rare, and since each mistake is different, they become one-of-a-kind treasures in the eyes of collectors. Condition is another critical factor. The vast majority of 1,982 quarters spent decades rattling around in pockets, vending machines, and coin jars, leaving them scratched and worn. Finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is like striking gold. Collectors will pay a premium for sharp details, strong luster, and surfaces free from damage. When rarity, condition, and minting errors combine, the value of this coin skyrockets. Another interesting point is that 1982 saw the Washington quarter struck at multiple mints, but with no special proof issues available, high-quality examples are in short supply. For collectors, that scarcity makes every well-preserved coin from this year a real prize. Add in the possibility of rare minting errors, and you've got a recipe for a coin that can command extraordinary prices in the marketplace. So, just how valuable can a 1982 Washington quarter dollar be? The answer might surprise you. If you happen to hold one in flawless, uncirculated condition, or even better, one with a dramatic minting error that sets it apart from the rest, the value can climb higher than you might ever expect. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the maximum value revealed. A rare 1982 Washington quarter dollar, in the right condition and with the right error, can reach an astonishing $75,000. That's right, $75,000 for a single quarter. Imagine the excitement of discovering such a treasure in a collection, or realizing that a coin you've had tucked away for years is worth a fortune. This is why coin collecting is so thrilling, because even the most ordinary-looking piece of change can hold extraordinary value. We're taking a closer look at a quarter you may have overlooked countless times. The United States Washington quarter dollar from 1985. At first glance, it might look like a simple 25-cent piece, but for coin collectors, this year holds some remarkable surprises. So coin lovers, listen carefully and enjoy this video, because by the end you'll understand why this coin can be worth far more than its face value. The mid-1980s was a busy time for the United States Mint. Millions upon millions of coins were being struck every year to meet the demands of commerce. By 1985, the Washington quarter had already been in circulation for over 50 years, becoming one of the most recognizable coins in American history. Designed by John Flanagan, the portrait of George Washington on the obverse had become a true icon, a symbol of strength and leadership. The reverse carried the timeless image of the eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches, a design that balanced power with peace. Now, while the design itself may seem ordinary, the details of how these coins were made in 1985 are what makes some of them incredibly special today. Because of the massive production volume, errors were almost unavoidable. These minting mistakes are what excite collectors the most, and they're the key to why certain 1985 quarters are worth a fortune. Some of the most desirable errors include dramatic double die strikes, where letters or even Washington's features show a distinct doubling effect. Others reveal off-center strikes, where the design is shifted noticeably away from the center of the coin, leaving part of it blank. There are also missing clad layer errors, where the nickel coating didn't fully bond to the copper core, creating a coin that looks strikingly different from the usual quarter. Each of these mistakes is rare, unique, and highly sought after, turning an ordinary coin into a collector's treasure. Condition is another major factor. The vast majority of 1985 quarters have been circulating for decades, showing scratches, dulling, and wear. A coin that has survived all those years in pristine, uncirculated condition is extremely hard to find, but it's exactly those coins that collectors will pay top dollar for. Brilliant luster, sharp details, and flawless surfaces can push the value of a coin into an entirely different league. There's also the fact that in 1985, proof sets were struck only in limited numbers at the San Francisco Mint, and circulation coins came from Philadelphia and Denver. For collectors, finding one from this year in immaculate condition, especially with a rare error, is like hitting the jackpot. That combination of scarcity, history, and uniqueness makes the 1985 quarter a fascinating piece of American coinage. Imagine stumbling across one of these in your old coin collection, or even spotting it in a box of loose change. To most people, it's worth only 25 cents. But to someone who understands its rarity and condition, it's a small fortune waiting to be discovered. And now comes the part you've been waiting for, the value reveal. A 1985 Washington quarter dollar in flawless, uncirculated condition, or one carrying a rare minting error that makes it stand out, can sell for an incredible $73,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $73,000 for a single quarter. This is why coin collecting is so exciting. The smallest coins, often ignored in daily life, can hold stories, history, and value far beyond their face. Top 5, we're turning our attention to a coin that many people overlook, the United States Washington quarter dollar from 1989. At first glance, it may seem like just another common piece of pocket change, but as we'll discover, certain quarters from this year can be worth far more than you might expect. Coin lovers, listen carefully and enjoy this video, because by the end you'll know exactly why this coin is so exciting for collectors. The year 1989 was an interesting time in America. The country was on the edge of a new decade, technology was rapidly evolving, and the mint was continuing its decades-long tradition of producing the Washington quarter. By this point, the design by John Flanagan had been in use for over 50 years. On the obverse side, we see George Washington's dignified profile, a familiar and trusted image in American coinage. On the reverse side, the bold eagle spreads its wings, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing the balance between strength and peace. Though the design remained the same, the story behind the 1989 quarter lies in its rarity and the fascinating errors that slipped through the mint. You see, the United States Mint was producing hundreds of millions of coins in 1989, striking them at high speed to meet demand. With such huge numbers being made, mistakes were bound to happen. And it's those mistakes that make certain 1989 quarters so special today. Some of the most prized errors include double die strikes, where the lettering or even Washington's features appear doubled under magnification. Others show off-center strikes, where the entire design is shifted, leaving part of the coin blank. There are also broad strikes, missing clad layers, and coins with partial designs, all of which instantly catch the eye of serious collectors. Each error is unique, and that uniqueness is what transforms an ordinary 25-cent piece into a one-of-a-kind collectible. Condition is another key factor. The majority of 1989 quarters have been used in circulation for decades, showing scratches, wear, and loss of detail. But coins that survived untouched, uncirculated pieces with sharp details and brilliant luster, are incredibly rare. Collectors know that pristine coins are treasures because they represent the coin exactly as it left the mint, without the scars of daily use. There's also something important about the mints themselves. In 1989, quarters were struck at Philadelphia and Denver for circulation, while San Francisco produced proof coins for collectors. While proof coins are generally more common and high-grade, error coins from circulation strikes are far rarer and much more valuable when found in top condition. Imagine stumbling across one of these in an old collection or even tucked away in a forgotten jar of coins. To most people, it's worth just a quarter. But for someone who understands its history, rarity, and possible errors, it could be a life-changing discovery. Now, the moment you've been waiting for, the value reveal. A Washington quarter dollar from 1989, preserved in flawless, uncirculated condition or displaying a dramatic minting error, can be worth an astonishing $72,000. That's right, $72,000 for a single quarter. This is why coin collecting is so thrilling. The smallest coins, often overlooked in everyday life, can turn out to be extraordinary treasures. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden value of the 1989 Washington quarter, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a future discovery. Thank you for watching, and as always, happy collecting.